Hi, in this video, I want to go over the features of Jamboard. Jamboard is one of the Google tools that is now available in G Suite for Education. At first, it used to only work with an actual physical Jamboard, but now it's available as both a mobile app and the web version, which is what I'm going through right now. You can find it within your Drive whenever you're creating new documents. Click on more and you'll see that there is also a Jamboard option now to create files that are Jamboards. And Jamboards are pretty much just a very basic whiteboard feature that can be used. Something that I do want to clear right from the start, and sometimes you might see other videos talking about Jamboards and what they can do with them. It does depend on what type of version of the Jamboard product you're using. So the mobile app version, if you're doing it from your phone or a tablet, or if you have the app enabled within like a Chromebook device, that is a little bit different than the web version that you see here. In the mobile one, you are able to bring in files from your Google Drive, and they'll come in as, if I bring in a slide presentation, it'll come in the corner as a little image file. If I double click on it, I can pull slides out onto my Jamboard and directly kind of like write or on them or things like that. That's only available within the mobile version of your Jamboard. So that's something to keep in mind, that depending on the Jamboard version, you'll have different capabilities. So I'm really running through just the web version because this is the one that's most universally going to be used from your students. So we have the most basic one. So this will be kind of the things that you can do with your Jamboard just really easily and quickly, either live if you're doing any kind of Zoom session with them, or even asynchronously if you want to assign it to Google Classroom. So when you first open your Jamboard file, this is what you get. It's just a white board. From the background section, I can change my background colors, and I can also change it if I want to make it like graph paper, or if I want to line it, like if I wanted to write. So all of this is something that I can do from the background. On the side, you have your toolbars for your Jamboard. It's really simple. You have your pen tool, which I can either have a pen tool, a marker, or brush, your different colors. This, of course, is much easier if you have touch capability. So once again, if you're using it from like a touchscreen device, if you have one, it's definitely much easier to use the writing part of it. The eraser here, if you want to erase small things, but if I want to clear my whole board, there is the option up here of clearing the frame. This is just my select tool that I can just maneuver and select files. Then there is a sticky note option. So if I don't want to use the pen tool and I want to write, I can go ahead and use the sticky note to be able to create little messages. There is quite a number of things that you can write in one sticky note and add more. You click on save and it'll appear in the back, and I can keep writing until I'm done, and then click cancel, and my sticky notes are here. Up in the three dots, I can either edit my sticky note if I want to change its color, if I want to add more or change anything that I've written down. Once I've done that, just remember to click on save to make any edits that you want to save. From here, I can delete it or duplicate it, and then I can move it around the board, and I can also make it larger. This is great for if you're doing just kind of really basic brainstorming collaboration ideas that everybody could be on the file, and you're just putting in little sticky notes there throughout that you just want to use for discussion later. There is also the add the image section of the Jamboard, where you can go ahead and add things from your Google Drive or upload it from your computer. And so you can add images that you can want to discuss, or maybe images that you want to label. So for example, I have here like the parts of a cell, and that's an image that I added into my Jamboard. And then whether you do it as a full class or individually, right, you might have then sticky notes that you've already put with the different parts of the cell, and the students have to go ahead and drag it into where it belongs. You can also then from here have another frame, and it's really just simple enough as you just click it and it automatically shows up. If I click this down arrow, I can actually add frames in between other frames. If I want to forgot like, oh, I want to add something here instead before they move on, I can add it there as well. So it's really simple to do that. Once they've labeled it, maybe I want to then go one by one and explain the purpose of each of these parts of the cell. And so I can do this as a whole class, and maybe they just do it with a sticky note and everybody writes down their answer on here. Or if this is something that I've assigned to one student, then they'll go ahead and write in their answer. So this is basically, the laser pointer is just if I want to go ahead and be able to emphasize things if I'm talking to them. This is basically the Jamboard. So if I wanted to assign this in Google Classroom, I would go into my classroom and I would create an assignment as I would normally. And in that assignment, I would then go ahead and, let me go ahead and view this one that I've already pre-done. In my assignment, I would add my Jamboard from my Google Drive. Let me go in and actually edit the assignment so you can see the process. So from add, right, from my assignment, as I'm writing it down, I put the title, I can put the instructions of what they need to do. And then from my Google Drive, I would go ahead and select my Jamboard file. So here it is. And once I've selected that Jamboard file, I can insert it, and then I can either make students edit the file, which means if students can edit, that means that all of my students are going to be working on this one file. And this is great if it's something that I want to do live with my class. So for example, I am doing my Zoom session with my class and I want to work on this Jamboard together. So this is something that I would have already had launched in my Google Classroom, or I can, from my Jamboard, get a shared link that anybody in the school can edit, copy that link. I can paste that link into my chat box in my Google Zoom, in my Zoom session rather, and they'll just click on it and it'll open up this Jamboard and everybody's going to be on and we can all be on there at the same time as we're going through our Zoom session. It'll just be a matter of fact of splitting your screen where you have your Zoom session half your screen and then you'll have your Jamboard on the other half of the screen and you can work on this together. Or I can make a copy for each student and each student will get their own copy of the Jamboard. And so this is something that they could do asynchronously. And that way, when they open it up, every student has their own copy of this Jamboard and they can work on it. So I'll show you what it looks like from a student perspective. So from the student view, if I would open this up, I can see that I have this test board assigned to me. I can view the assignment and open up my Jamboard that is mine. And I can see that it's mine because it already has my name on it. And then I can go ahead and manipulate and answer the questions, go to the next slide and go ahead and answer those questions. And once I'm done with my Jamboard, I could turn it in. If it were a class Jamboard and my teacher had posted it to me already and it said in my assignments, with the note saying, you know, this is what we're going to do during our Zoom session, then I can just go in here and open up my Jamboard. It'll launch. And so when I'm in my Zoom session with my teacher, I know the rest of my classmates will be in it with me and we'll be working on it together. And I can see up here, right, that my teacher's already on my Jamboard. And so I'll see all of the rest of my classmates on with me. So basically, that is what a Jamboard is. And I can see here I've from my test student who joined my Jamboard. That's basically what a Jamboard is. It's a really simple virtual background that you can use for things like that, whether it's asynchronous or synchronously with your meetings with your students. But I definitely suggest to check it out. It's definitely useful for real simple collaboration or brainstorming. It's definitely something that would be useful. Thanks for watching.